What's up everyone and welcome back to the MMA Zone. Today, let's get started with Khamzat Chimaev calls out MMA community. Leading up to UFC 319, more than a few observers predicted that Dricus du Plessis was going to hand Khamzat Chimaev his very first loss. And before we continue, make sure to leave a like on the video to help support the channel. Well, not only did Chimaev prove them wrong, in a very convincing fashion, now he's calling out the folks who doubted his abilities. Although Khamzat was a considerable favorite on the betting lines to win the middleweight title, as noted, not everyone believed that DDP was going to drop the belt. The consensus among people who thought that Dricus could win was largely centered around the belief that Chimaev would fade as the fight wore on, and that du Plessis had a solid chance of weathering the storm in rounds 1 and 2. Well, as we all know now, Chimaev in his wrestling pretty much cruised to victory as he controlled nearly every minute of this fight. More recently, Chimaev posted the following video, which includes predictions from the likes of Israel Adesanya, Mighty Mouse Johnson, Alexander Volkanovski, Michael Bisping, and Chael Sonnen, which did not age well. In addition, Khamzat also posted a comment that raised some eyebrows. So in response to the blowback Chimaev got for the monkeys remark, the new champion posted this: "Monkeys men's not referring black men. I'm talking about these people who are in the video." If you need a reminder of how one-sided Chimaev's victory was, he took du Plessis down 12 times and outstruck him by a margin of 529 to 45. Talking about Khamzat, it looks like he's interested in fighting on the UFC White House card. Back in September 11th, Khamzat tweeted this. Then last night, Khamzat tweeted a picture of him with the UFC White House. Do you think Khamzat should fight on the UFC White House card? Let us know in the comments below. Merab talks about preparing for Cory Sandhagen fight. Tons of praise have been sent Merab way in recent months, and understandably so, but it doesn't sound like he's letting all the compliments go to his head. Although Merab has not lost a fight since 2018, and despite the fact he defeated numerous top-tier bantamweights along the way, it wasn't until this year, really, that Dvalishvili finally got the respect he deserves. Not only did Merab become the first man to beat Umar Nurmagomedov, he submitted Sean O'Malley in their rematch this past summer. Currently, Merab is ranked number 3 on the pound-for-pound rankings for the UFC. Up next, Dvalishvili is booked to fight Cory Sandhagen at UFC 320 on October 4th. While discussing all the success he's had with MMA Junkie, Merab was quick to note that he remains as focused and motivated as ever. "No, I'm definitely not comfortable. Every fight in UFC is very important for me, even when I was not fighting for the belt, or now I'm fighting for the belt. Every fight doesn't matter. Even my first fight in the UFC, or my third fight, I'm treating every fight same. I have same goal and same motivation." Dvalishvili also added this: "I'm even more motivated, but it's just when you're the champion, you become popular. You've got more distractions, more people. You have more opportunities. And of course, I have family, friends, I have teammates, coaches, neighbors. You have to split the time for everyone, which is hard, and I'm trying to deal with this, figure it out." Some will argue that a lot of now former champs made similar comments when they were on top of the MMA world, before getting complacent and taking a loss. But given how many fans blasted Merab for not being a finisher during his championship rise, you'd think he'd still wants to go out and silence even more of his critics. Merab also reported he's also hoping to mix it up with Peter Yan before the year wraps up. "I want to ask the UFC favor to fight 4 times this year if I win. First, I have to win this fight. I'm very focused because, like I said, I don't think it's going to be an easy fight for me. If I win this fight, I want to come back quick and give Peter Yan his fight because he's like the clear contender right now, and he's the most deserving guy in my weight class." UFC updates. Let's take a look at some UFC and fight updates. The Korean MMA account on X is reporting that welterweights Seok-Hyun Ko and Phil Rowe will throw down at the UFC's November 1st Fight Night card in Las Vegas. Ko is coming off a unanimous decision win over Oben Elliott in June, which extended his winning streak to 5. Rowe also notched a victory in June as he took out Angelusa with strikes. That victory snapped a 2-fight losing skid. And the Iridium Sports Agency recently reported via X that heavyweights AJ Fry and Guillaume Pat will throw hands at the UFC's December 13th Fight Night card in Las Vegas. Fry will be making his Octagon debut after going 6-0 to begin his career. All of the American's professional wins to date have been via stoppage. Pat will also be making his debut. The Brazilian fighter has gone 5-0 to date in professional fights, and 4 of his wins have been due to stoppage. Following the UFC's latest Noche card, it was reported that Cedric Dumas has been suspended indefinitely due to medical reasons. But Dumas is clearly not happy with the folks who are reporting this news. The Texas Department of Licensing and Regulation handed out 26 medical suspensions following the recent event, which took place in San Antonio. One of the fighters suspended was Dumas, who was unable to continue after taking a kick to the groin from Zach Reese. The middleweight was stretchered out from the octagon due to the apparent injury. But more recently, a fired-up Dumas posted the following clip.
Hey guys, whoever's going around saying I'm suspended indefinitely, tell him his mom's a piece of shit. Tell him that. Have a good day. No.
Typically, indefinite medical suspensions only last until a fighter is cleared by a physician to fight again. So, based on Dumas' response, either he wasn't medically suspended at all, or there's been some sort of miscommunication here. Alex Pereira shared his weight ahead of the rematch with Magomed. Pereira is currently weighing 234 pounds, just 2 weeks before his fight.
It's funny, I don't think about it as difficult because, like, I can skate better, I can walk. So, like, I don't think you're, like, you can slippery out there.
Concerns rise for BJ Penn after Instagram video. BJ Penn continues to make headlines, and unfortunately, the legend continues to do so for unsettling and concerning reasons. If you follow BJ Penn, then you know he's been arrested multiple times in recent years, and that there have been widespread concerns expressed about his mental health. A key reason being that Penn has claimed that his family members are imposters. Some of Penn's relatives have reportedly said in court that they're concerned he's suffering from Capgras syndrome, which is a rare delusional mental disorder that can be caused by brain injuries. Well, more recently, Penn posted a video of himself that showed him hanging out with a group of people he apparently calls the Sabotage Squad. As you can see, BJ was also wearing a wig and glasses.
Stand in line. Stand in line. Let them know.
No, I don't want to do.
Run it, show me your. Not gonna like this. Do you want that key?
The only way out is in.
Here were some of the comments and concerns fans posted after watching the video. Brother, fight the demons. Jesus saves. Have faith. The Wainaku special. Have some respect for yourself. It was never CTE. It was always ice. I can feel the healing vibes. See, he's fine. Pretty up images for the young generation. The only way out is into rehab. BJ Penn, I pray to God you can see this. Get the out of that housemate or kick them out. That situation, whatever it may be, is not serving you. You can see that a mile off. Please call someone you can trust and tell them everything. I've been there, brother, and it will get far worse before it will get better. Please, I'm in tears here, man. Go get some help. Up out the wazoo. Alexandre Pantoja says Charles Oliveira should move up to welterweight. A lot of fans expressed concerns when it was announced that Charles Oliveira was returning to the cage at the UFC's October 11th card in Rio de Janeiro, and it sounds like Alexandre Pantoja is also in that camp. The reason eyebrows were raised when Oliveira was booked for the card is because he was brutally knocked out by Ilia Topuria on June 28th. Further, Oliveira has been fighting professionally since 2008, and he's been in a ton of wars. Well, recently, Pantoja was a guest on the Overdogs podcast, and while talking about Oliveira, he expressed those concerns.
What I think is like the cut weight is like maybe too much, you know. When you cut too much weight, you need to understand this. All your water goes on, you know. Your brain have a water, you know. If you dry yourself too much, you make your like a vulnerable is like a you make you're
vulnerable.
Vulnerable,
vulnerable.
You know, too much cut weight. You know, I don't like to see that position. Maybe Charles is too heavy to that division. You know, I don't know.
So you think he'd be like? Do you think he should move up to 170?
Make it more easy for him.
Pantoja isn't the only person who has questioned if Oliveira, who turns 36 years old in October, should be competing at lightweight anymore. But as far as Oliveira's plans to fight in October, he's dismissed the argument that he's returning to action too soon. All that aside, Pantoja was also asked to weigh in on who he believes are the best pound-for-pound fighters in the game. Here's what he had to say.
About pound for pound, that's what I think, you know. Number one, Sandhagen. Number two, Pantoja, Merab, and Topuria. You know, Merab is cool, man. I love Merab. I love his style fight. 2 double champ. That's amazing. That's so impressive. But he beat Volkanovski, Max Holloway, Charles. Then he savage, man.
If you need a refresher, the UFC's current rankings have Topuria number 1, with Islam number 2, Merab 3, and then Khamzat Chimaev 4. Pantoja is ranked number 5. Back in June, however, when Jack Della Maddalena was ranked ahead of Pantoja in the pound-for-pound rankings, he didn't hold back in expressing his frustration. At the time, the flyweight champion was ranked number 9. Here's some of what Pantoja had to say at the post-fight presser for UFC 317. It doesn't make sense if I'm not in the number 2. I'm just behind Islam Makhachev. 5 fights for the title, an 8-fight win streak, 4 title defenses, numbers don't lie. I try to understand the pound-for-pound rankings. I think maybe it's more victories or victories over ranked guys. Do you guys think I need to beat someone? You put Jack Della Maddalena in front of me. You think I need to beat Jack Della Maddalena to take his position? That's crazy. It's time to respect the flyweights. Benoit Denis' team shuts down Charles Oliveira fight. Not long ago, BSD said he would be willing to step up if the UFC needed a replacement fighter for the headliner of the upcoming Rio de Janeiro card. Well, as it turns out, the UFC does need a new opponent for Charles Oliveira, but BSD's manager says they will not be taking this fight. If you missed it, recently it was reported that Rafael Fiziev has withdrawn from the October 11th card due to injury. He was scheduled to fight Oliveira in the main event. Following Benoit's impressive win over Mauricio Hufi earlier this month at UFC Paris, he told Ariel Helwani the following.
And I will accept any opportunity the UFC is giving me to fight somebody inside this top 10. And as soon as possible, I get that opportunity, I'm ready to step up. And I'm even looking at Fiziev and Oliveira. So if somebody gets injured, I do really believe I'm back to the version I want to fight as much and win as much as possible. And I'm looking for opportunities. Let's see what the UFC is going to offer me.
So why isn't Sandhagen an option then, given what he said? Well, Real Kevin K recently reported Benoit's manager, Guillaume Peltier, posted this on IG. Given the number of requests about this, I prefer to state right now, there will be no BSD versus Oliveira in October. We respect Oliveira too much to take it that way. This kind of fight is getting ready. Now, it's possible the UFC could change the team's mind if they sweeten the pot with some extra cash. But based on the comments, it doesn't sound like BSD will be heading to Brazil next month to fight Oliveira. Talking about Oliveira, it looks like Mattel's Gamrot might be stepping in for the main event. A fan posted a video of Gamrot in the airport headed towards America. Then this morning, Charles Oliveira went off on fighters that are calling him out to fight at UFC Rio on social media, saying that they are trying to get fame off of him. He said, "Everyone already knows that my fight against Fiziev is off, but know this, don't fall for the these fighters been saying. I'm in, I'll go. Because the UFC is calling them and all of them are saying, oh, but my weight, oh, but I can't. So this little game only to get hype, forget, because it's getting embarrassing. Some raise their hands, others do the same thing, but when it comes to the time to answer the call, what do you say? Oh, my belly hurts, I broke my finger, I hurt my hand. So stop with this embarrassing I want to fight at UFC Rio. I asked for this fight, my opponent got hurt. Then suddenly a bunch of fighters offered, but when the UFC calls, I can't make it. Stop with this embarrassing gimmick to try to get fame. Do other stuff. Don't keep saying you want to fight me when you know it's a lie." Gamrot responded to the clip of Oliveira calling out fighters. He wrote on Twitter saying, "Respect Charles Oliveira, but I told UFC straight, I want to face you in your own house. This will be a true masterclass on the ground, and I'm ready to prove it." Do you want to see Gamrot step in to replace Fiziev and fight Charles Oliveira at UFC Rio? Let us know in the comments. We have a favor to ask. Help us reach 200,000 subscribers on MMA Zone by subscribing and turning on notifications for daily MMA content. Seriously, we rarely miss a day.